Soccer's history goes back as far as the ancient Greeks and Romans. During the Han Dynasty in 2nd century China, they had a game that involved kicking a ball. In the Middle Ages in Europe, towns and villages formed teams to compete in a game which an inflated pig's bladder would be dragged to a marker at either end of the villages. Numerous attempts were made to ban football games, as they were now called. In 1314, King Edward II was so disturbed by the unruliness of football in London that he issued the following proclamation.
Forasmuch as there is great noise in the city caused by hustling over large balls, from which many evils may arise which God forbid, we command and forbid on behalf of the king, on pain of imprisonment, such game to be used in the city in the future.
That means he didn't like it. But despite his and others' decrees against the game lived on. And a few hundred years later, in fact, King James of the King James Bible fame gave the game his blessing. In his Book of Sports, released in 1618, he instructs Christians to
play every Sunday after worship,
a practice carried on today in American football as well. Football was adopted by a number of English schools as a way of encouraging competitiveness and promoting exercise. Each school had its own rules, but over time, two schools of thought emerged. One school of thought favored a game with kicking and dribbling the ball.
Hello.
These were the rules adopted by schools like Eton. Another school of thought preferred a game where the ball could be carried and be a bit more rough and tumble.
Hello.
These rules were adopted by schools like rugby, and yes, that is the origin of the game of rugby, and American football as well. Finally, in the fall of 1863, in a tavern in London, the Football Association was created from various football teams or clubs as they were known, with the purpose of having a set of rules by which the game should be played. And in December, the laws of football were published. By the beginning of the 20th century, the game had gained popularity in other European countries as well, and all felt a need for a single body to oversee it. So, on May 21st, 1904, in Paris, France, not Texas, the Fédération Internationale de Football Association, also known as FIFA, was born, and remains the governing body over the rules of soccer today.